Hi friends, welcome back to Texas Family Life. Today I'm going to show you 3 more meatless meals you can have on hand. Whether it's a Friday in Lent or just a Friday during the week and you don't eat meat, or maybe you just need alternatives. Today we're going to make English muffins from scratch. The ones I'm making, I'm adding raisins and cinnamon, but you don't have to if you want to just make regular English muffins. This recipe is so easy and the kids were thrilled to help make this. Of course, as usual, the recipe can be found in the description box below for each of the meals that I'll be showing you today. We're going to add milk and butter together, and then we're going to warm it up for a little bit. We want to make sure it's not too hot before you add the yeast, otherwise it could kill the yeast. So I'm having the girls try it, and of course this is very special. I'm very much don't taste it until we're done kind of person. After adding the yeast, we're going to add some flour. Of course, I always almost forget to add eggs, so you'll see that I add a couple in a little bit. I added about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. You can do as much as you'd like. Followed by a few handfuls of raisins. Then you're gonna knead the dough just like any other bread. You want it to be soft as a baby's bottom, and you want it to be elastic. You don't want it to be super sticky. You can do this in a stand mixer or by hand, but I much prefer to do it by hand. Now we're gonna let it rise for about an hour or 2 hours until it is doubled in size. You're gonna punch it down and then roll it back out and just smooth it out by hand. You want it about 1/2 inch thick. And then I'm using a cup to cut it out. If you have a circular cookie cutter, that works perfectly, but I do not have one, so I'm just doing that. You want to lay out some parchment paper and put down cornmeal. That's what's usually found on the bottom of English muffins, and it'll help it not stick so much to the parchment paper as well. After doing this, you're gonna cover them again and let them rise for another hour. I did completely cook these the day prior, so this was not all in the same morning. But next you're gonna heat a skillet to medium heat, and you're gonna brown them on each side for about 3 minutes until they're cooked through. The great thing about these is if they're not, you can stick them in the oven to completely cook them if for some reason they don't keep really well in the fridge until you're ready to use them. In the morning, I just toast them and put some butter on it, and they're good to go. Scrambled eggs are what I chose to fix with this morning, just so the kids could have some extra protein. I did about 3 eggs and a cup of milk just to keep them fluffy. I pour them into a hot skillet. While the eggs are cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up this cantaloupe. You're gonna scoop the seeds out, and then I like to use a tablespoon measuring thing and scoop out the cantaloupe. It makes nice little ball scoops, and you don't actually need a ball scooper. For the smaller kids, I will cut those in half. And big thank you to the commenter who told me how to properly make eggs. You cook them on lower heat. I always cooked eggs on higher heat and they stuck to the pan so bad. But if you see here, it's not sticking to the pan. And then you wait till the very end to add seasonings. I never did that either. So since learning these, my eggs have been perfect. So that is our morning breakfast for a meatless meal. It's gonna be cantaloupe. Everyone gets 2 halves of an English muffin that they helped make and some scrambled eggs. For lunch, I am making cream cheese and black olives. We had these crescent rolls from Isadora's first communion, and I figured this was a great way to use it. So for cream cheese and black olives, you just get some plain cream cheese, and you're gonna put all of the container into the bowl. And I can't tell you how much was in this container, but it looks like about 2 to 3 cups. And then you're gonna use about 2 cans of black olives. They don't have to be cut perfectly, but you just want them in small-ish pieces. And of course, you do want these olives drained. You're not going to use the juice in the cream cheese. This recipe is just so simple, and I'm sure there are so many people that don't like olives and don't like cream cheese, but if you do like both these things, it is so good. So I'm just cutting these croissants in half. They were huge, and so I cut them in half and cut them in half again, and just spread the cream cheese and black olives on them. Then if you have leftover cream cheese and black olives, you can use it as almost like a dip. I like chips with cream cheese and black olives. It's so good. And then to help this be a little bit more nutritious and well-rounded, you can pick some sort of fruit or vegetable to go with this. Yes, the olives are in there too, but I added some cucumber for my kids just to have something else to eat with it. Some more color to their food, if you will. And the leftover cream cheese and black olives will keep in the fridge covered for a few days. You could even put it back into your cream cheese container that you used. The final meal is zucchini pasta with English muffin pizzas. So I make this just like I would make a pasta. I'm adding mushrooms and butter and a little bit of lemon juice. And I saute these for a little bit. And while that's going on, I'm going to make my little zucchini spaghetti strings. So I just use this spiraler, and it was like $5 from the grocery store. I'm sure you could find one now as well. I've had this one for years, but you can spiral anything. So I'm just spiraling some zucchini. And the way I make this recipe, it reminds me a whole lot of chicken piccata, if you've ever had that. That uses some wine, and you could add some white wine, and that'd be very good, but I'm just gonna be using lemon juice. So you spiral about 3 or 4 zucchinis, however many you need, and dump it into the pot. And it looks like a lot, but it will shrink down. And here I'm just mixing it around a little bit so that the mushrooms aren't all at the bottom. While the zucchini is going, I'm gonna get the English muffins ready. These ones were store-bought. I did not make enough plain ones for a meal, but you could have totally done that with the recipe that I shared earlier. I'm gonna use tomato paste for some and some pesto for others. But first, I'm going to brown the English muffins in the oven. And once they come out of the oven, I'm gonna spread some tomato paste on and some basil. You could use any topping you want for this. And if you wanted to add meat for a meat meal, you are more than welcome to. But today we are doing a little bit of mozzarella cheese, some mushrooms as well on this. I love mushrooms. I may put too much on things, but I feel like I can't get enough mushrooms. So there's a mozzarella cheese. And my husband requested some tomatoes, so I did a few crushed tomatoes on his. Some kids don't like mushrooms, so I didn't even bother putting on theirs. Back into the oven to brown a little bit more. And there is dinner. It's a great, easy one for the kids and for us. Sometimes it seems like a lot of work, but it is so fulfilling to make homemade meals like this. And when everyone is done eating, it's just a wonderful feeling to know that their tummies are full with homemade food from mom. I highly encourage you to make your meals this week. And if that sounds like a lot, then pick 2 days to make homemade meals and start small and work your way up. I hope this video has encouraged you, and I hope you truly have a blessed rest of your week. And I can't wait to see you guys soon. Bye, guys.